Hey, what up? It's your boy DJ Half 101 coming to you live from the OTB studios. We're going to talk about Bar to Bar MX and the Pro-Am coming up next weekend. Bar to Bar MX has a Pro-Am coming up November 17th, 18th, and 19th. That's practice on Saturday for $25. Championship racing on Saturday and Sunday both. The Pro-Am is racing Sunday. The schedule's as follows. Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturday, gates open at 6 and registration is at 6. Hot laps are at 8, followed by the racing. Now this is an AMA sanctioned event and a Pro-Am AMA points paid race. $30 for your amateur classes, $40 for the pro classes. If you want more information, go to barmx.com. That's BAR2, number 2, barmx.com. You got a $3,000 pro payout to the 250 Pro and 450 Pro classes. Bar to Bar MX and the Kansas Pro-Am is brought to you by the Visit Wichita Council, Excel Construction, Park City, Kansas, Davis Moore Auto Group, FMF, and EVS. Now, if you think you're the shit and you want to prove it, you better get your ass to Bar MX and start flexing on all these motherfuckers that think they got a little something for you. I want to see some bar banging at Bar to Bar. I want to see some good racing. You think you're the shit in the B class? Well, come on out to Bar. Race your ass in the sand. It's not quite like a beach, because it's in the middle of Kansas in a cornfield, but hey, that ain't never stopped nobody from making a championship out of it. Bruce of Bar to Bar ain't scared, neither should you be. Come on out, bar2barmx.com. You can check them out on Facebook. That's facebook.com/bar2barmx. November 17th, 18th, and 19th. You know where it is, you know when it is. Now you don't have any excuses as to why you ain't gonna be there. Bring your speed. You've been training all year. You should be comfortable on the bike by now. Dial the clickers and swap the pull rods, baby. It's time for Bar to Bar. Click on up into 3rd, 4th, 5th gear even. Pin it to Bar to Bar. Get you some sand racing in. Sitting on Instagram talking like a man and you ain't done shit. Go to Bar and prove it, bruh. This show and all shows of the Over the Bars podcast is brought to you by Patreon.com and all of our Patreon subscribers, sponsors, pledges, money givers, charitable individuals. Thank you to our patrons. If you would like to become a patron of the Over the Bars podcast, go to Patreon, patreon.com/overthebars. On the right side of our patron page, you will see the ability to become a patron. There's a red button that says Become a Patron. Just simply click that button. The first tier of our patronage, it's called Fan of the Show. And this is the initial package for the core group of patrons. $5 just gives us a little bit of money. Helps us keep doing the show. The second tier is the Sticker Pack Superfan. For $10 or more a month, you'll receive an OTB sticker pack mailed to your front door every month. Cool one-offs, rare color combos, new designs monthly. So everybody that was pledged over $10 or $10 or more, actually, not only did they get the sticker packs every month, but they also got a t-shirt for free, shipped to them for free in their size last month in September. That was part of the package. We just decided to throw in a little something extra. And then we have the Super Duper Fan Pack, Tier 3. And then we ship you, for $15 or more, we ship you a custom packet filled with customized OTB stickers with your name printed right into the sticker. Every month you'll receive a new envelope with assorted stickers and a wide variety of fresh designs for your flexing pleasure. Also, your name will be mentioned as one of our key patrons. So I'd like to give a really big shout out to our friends Dylan Diornellis, Jesse Anderson, Christopher McKillop, Corey Hipp, and Dan Bax. I'd also like to thank all of our Patreon subscribers, specifically these 5 off the top fantastic people really helping us continue doing the show. Also, I'd like to thank Bar to Bar MX, who has become our newest corporate sponsor of the Over the Bars podcast. If you'd like to be one of those, the information can be found on the Patreon account website. I want to take a quick second to talk about something that I've come across just through browsing. There's a clothing company called Weebig. That's WEBIG. You can check them out on Instagram. It's at Weebig Inc. They make some really cool stuff. Hats, t-shirts, patches, stickers, so on and so forth. Let me read you some of the hats that they've got. So they're all trucker hats. One of them says Weebig 125cc Dream Race. They've also got some that say y'all motherfuckers need 2 strokes. They sell a full line of stuff that says Camel Smoker Cross on it, which I think is awesome because obviously we all remember the days of whenever Camel was the title sponsor of Supercross. Got a couple of these y'all motherfuckers hats. Let me try to find the full list of them. Damn, I'm kind of blanking out here. They also have hats that just say beer really big on it. I don't know, their whole vibe, I really like what they're about. I mean, it's definitely very late 70s inspired type stuff. Denny Stevenson has taken a liking to a lot of their stuff and ordered quite a few things from them. And I believe that they're out of somewhere on the Pacific Northwest. I'd say Portland area, Washington perhaps. Either way, check them out, Weebig Inc. I'm a fan of everything that they're doing, and I just want to give them some ups because their vibe is cool. Definitely. Oh, and they're also an advertiser in the Document magazine, which check that out also. Doc Mag. It's a hell of an article. Who's this? It's Tyler Holm on the 549 Answer Honda. OTB.
Honda CRF 450R for 2018 features an all-new downdraft air intake and fuel injection layout that achieves a potent, broad spat of torque, but it also allows for heavier components to be located as centrally and low as possible, so that all power can be effectively utilized. In addition, the vehicle packaging results in nimble cornering, while updated suspension settings to the Showa shock and 49mm coil spring fork improve handling. Corresponding with the addition of an electric starter powered by a lightweight lithium-ion battery, the kickstarter lever has been removed in order to save precious weight. An updated ECU setting means power delivery is more usable than ever, and the big CRF still has great features like a titanium fuel tank, engine mode select button, and wave pattern 260mm front brakes. Add it all together and you've got a bike that delivers even better on its promise of the absolute whole shot. If you're interested in the 2018 CRF 450R by Honda, go to Donnell's Motorcycles at 17851 East US Highway 40, Independence, Missouri. Give them a call at 816-478-9393. Open until 4 on Saturday.
Hey guys, this is kind of a quick check-in from the OTB desk. Mike and I have been super busy both with work and stickers, and it's been hard for us to get together, but I wanted to put out a podcast really quick about this race that I'm getting ready to do, the Riverfront GP. I've talked about it on a few episodes, and Tyler Holm, who is the Tucker Rocky rep in Southern Missouri, he went down and rode on their open weekend of just open practice. So I gave him a call, got the vibe of whatever the course was like, and see how he liked it. And we're going to talk about fuel and lap times and whatnot. So let's call Tyler Holm real quick. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah. Hi. How we doing?
Hey, good.
Okay. Sorry, it took a minute longer than than I expected.
That's all right.
Yeah. So what's up, buddy? You went to Van Buren last weekend and went to the RFGP to ride practice day. How was it?
I'll tell you, that was. I've been about 10 years trying to get down to the Riverfront GP, and it did not disappoint. There's probably 6 or 8 whoop sections that almost turned into rhythm section. Probably 4 or 5 different types of sand. Fast trees, slow trees, field sections. It was amazing. I'm definitely going back to race over Thanksgiving weekend for sure.
And that was the first time that you had ever been?
Yeah, I've been hearing about it from all types of my friends for a long time, and just kind of at the last minute found somebody to go down there with, and it was awesome. I'm not a huge woods guy, and the fact that I don't really like rocks and I don't ever want to cross a creek in competition type situation. This track, there was one turn that had some tree roots in it, and I might just saw 3 rocks the whole time, and everything else is sand berms and whoops, and you can ride pretty aggressive and not worry about bouncing into a tree or anything like that. It was a heck of a lot of fun.
Hey, did you how many laps did you ride at one time?
So I did the 11-mile loop, and I was with a motocross rider. We'd do one, then we'd take a drink, then we'd do another lap. We did a drink. We only did about 3 laps that day, and it looks like you should get 6. The tippy top of the guys, I think, got 6 laps last year, and everybody else did 5.
Yeah.
So based on my calculations, that should be 1 gas stop, which is a good thing.
Well, see, whenever I did it a couple years ago, I had to pit twice.
I wondered, because you're on the gas. It's sucking fuel the whole time you're doing your practice laps.
Yeah, that's the thing, is it's not like you're just out riding around in the woods. It's pretty much full throttle the entire time.
Yeah, and what I really liked is they had a good mix of really fast, long straightaways that are rough, and then all the stuff on the middle is, there's some woods techniques that come into play, but I just ran the regular, like a pro taper brush guard, and it was just fine, but I would definitely recommend having something like that on there. But did you do a full 2-gallon gas stop every time? What's your gas move? How do you do that?
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm going to go down there this weekend with Nick Peterson, and that's what I'm most interested to find out is how I end up as far as fuel goes. Because so in 2014 I did 6 laps in 2 hours and 15 minutes, and I know that I went lap 1 and lap 2 on the same tank, and then 3 and 4 on the same tank, and then so essentially I was pitting every other lap. And I mean, I'm not, whenever I go and do these woods races, it's not like I'm like, I gotta fucking make it, I gotta shave every second in the pit lane, because it's not really, woods aren't my thing. So it's kind of hard for me to be like, counting down the seconds in pit lane whenever I go. I mean, the fueling process takes all of about 30 seconds. It's not that big of a loss for me to take my time, change my gloves, etc.
No, I'm with you.
And so it looks like, I don't know, man, because, okay, so what I figure is about every 45 minutes, and it looks like last year, so the first lap, or not last year, but the last time that I did it, the first lap was 24 minutes in, the second lap was 46 minutes in, and then that's whenever I pitted. And,
okay, that sounds about right. The worst thing would be to try to squeeze another one and then run out.
Oh, dude, there's absolutely no way I could go an hour and 10 minutes. So I clocked the third lap. I was at an hour 9 minutes. There's no way that I could ride an hour and 9 minutes off of one gas tank.
Yeah, especially there.
No, And that year I was on a 450, which I don't know which one gets better fuel. So I mean, I'm kind of curious to see, but
so like a fuel injected bike, that the tanks get smaller now. They used to be a little bigger.
Yeah,
most of that is because a carbureted bike will spill about a half a gallon through the carburetor, and by being fuel injected, it's a smaller tank with the same amount of fuel mileage,
right?
Just based on that lack of spillage. So it'll be interesting. And the other thing is like, if you listen to a woods guy ride and you listen to a moto guy ride, a woods guy might be able to make it 3 or maybe even 4 laps. But the moto guys seem to make a bit. We had a harescramble friend we referred to as the silent assassin. I don't think he ever hit the main jet, and he would fly by you at any moment. So definitely the moto style is not quite as fuel efficient as a woods guy style either.
So last weekend on Saturday, Nick Peterson, myself, Jackson Vest, and Kevin Morans went to Oakland and rode, and
Oakland.
Dude, okay, so not only we hit the jump track in the back and pretty much rode the entire property and did some time out on the sand, but I put together a couple little sections and made about a 1.5 minute long loop, and between 4 of us on that, riding it for about 20 minutes, it went from not a single rut or bump on it to just completely chewed out. So now I actually, you were talking about the silent assassin. As I was focusing whenever I was riding about using like second and third gear and not like pinning the throttle at every corner exit, because like you say, moto dudes do that and they're banging off of the rev limiter in second gear every opportunity, and that just doesn't work in the woods.
It does not, and it really disrupts everything, and it's also like a massive energy suck.
Yeah.
One of the kid I was riding with, if there was a switchback section in the woods, he was all about like blowing berm 1, blowing up berm 2, and blowing up berm 3. But if you just kind of skipped all 3 of the berms and made it as straight as possible, you'd actually make up more time. And that's one of the things where, any moto guy that does a harescramble, if you don't lead the first lap and crash the second, you're not upholding your moto tradition in a harescramble, it seems like, So it's amazing, like just slowing down, they say, can make you go faster, and it definitely shows itself in the woods for sure. And the like Riverfront GP, like that whole area, it's almost just like Oakland, but with more types of sand and a lot bigger. Like that's great training, I guess, for the Riverfront GP for sure.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Oakland doesn't just have straightaways of whoops.
No, and I would prefer that it did. I'm a big fan of those.
Yeah. How many people were there, if you had to guess, on last weekend?
There not a lot, man. I would say that there was probably 20 bikes and probably 4 or 5 side-by-sides, and you could see where the leaves had fallen over, and you could see where people had run the lines through, but it's pretty obvious that on race day, those lines are going to push out and expand a heck of a lot more than they are. So I think the track by this weekend, it'll probably be broken, and by the second or third lap, it'll be noticeably rougher than it is anything you ride this weekend, because they just didn't have massive amounts of traffic.
Right.
So it almost worked out, because you could go out there, stop, check out a section, maybe try to find some lines or whatever, and not have to worry about getting run over or whatever the case was.
What I intend to do this weekend is go out and just, because, whenever you go and do the race, there's no practice whatsoever. They don't even let you out on the track. I mean, you can look at it on foot if you want to, but you just go out and pin it without seeing the track. So what I intend to do this weekend is just fucking drop the hammer and ride 2 laps and then check my fuel. That's the number one thing, is I want to see, what kind of fuel I'm getting out of 2 laps. Because, I'm running the SX tank, so it doesn't hold extra capacity. Hey, did you have handguards on by chance?
So I ran the MOTO brush deflector. 2 weeks ago, you were at Heartland Park the day that they had 50-mile-an-hour wind. And I actually hit a evergreen tree with my front brake and ended up going down, which was totally fixable if I'd have just had the handguards on. So you can, there's still some shrubbery and some brush. One of the things you got to look out for is there's one straightaway that's whooped and it looks great, and there's these huge, what looks like dog tails that look like when you hit them, they just explode into dust.
Yeah.
And what they actually are is some sort of insane vine that hit my handlebars and then whipped me on my back. I thought I was being hit with a bullwhip. It hurt so bad. So I'd recommend a Chest Pro and some of the MOTO roost deflectors, just to keep your front brakes from being dragged, and maybe you can brush into some weeds or whatever the case without going down. But I'm not a huge fan of the wraparound handguard, and I don't think they're really needed out there.
I've never done that race with handguards, and I don't really.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily needed. But on the other hand, I kind of almost want to take some in case it's cold, because it can get cold as fuck there.
Well, and I don't want to, with a metal handguard, you can hit a tree and it's all good, and I don't really want to do that.
Yeah.
But all that stuff, just when it grabs your front brake, you go down. I definitely think that if it should help your speed, and if anything, your just comfort level, and pinning it through a section maybe a little bit off the side of a trail to find a smooth line or whatever.
Yeah.
If you have some of those brush guards on there, because I don't know, man. Nobody likes having the front brake grabbed out of nowhere.
So I'm looking at the lap times from the last time that I raced, and all right, now here, I don't know if I told you this, but I had a flat tire 20 minutes into the race. So right after I crossed the finish line in the first lap, my tire gave out on me. And
oh no.
Yeah, so I rode 5 laps with a flat front tire. Tyler, I went 24 minutes, 22 minutes, 22 minutes, 22 minutes, 23 minutes, and then 20 minutes on the last lap. Because, who was it? It was Jake Ingram passed me on the last lap, or right before the checkers for the last, or the white flag for the last lap. And I knew that he was another pro rider, and I was like, fuck it, dude. I'm just going to try to ride this guy's pace. And it was literally no sweat off of my back to ride this dude's pace. And I was so mad at myself because I was, kind of pussyfooting around running these 22-minute lap times when I should have been running 20s all race. And did you happen to have a clock or see what your lap time was whenever you went out there?
We had the intention to do a lap time, and then by the time, the second sand loop section, my smile got so big I forgot about that. So I really have no idea exactly how long it would take. I would guess that it's right around the 20 to 20. I think so that long whooped out straightaway is not on there. The promoter said that it's 90% of the trail that it was last year.
Yeah.
So I think right in that 20 to 25 minute mark is where to go, or where to land. And to the flat tire point, I hate flat tires. They, and then geez, you have to change them too, which is there's plenty of woods guys there that'll bust it out in 5 minutes, but that's not really our wheelhouse. I'm all about running like 13, you know. I mean, it's sand, let it dig in a little bit and not get a flat, because a flat tire is not the end of the day at a hare scramble, but it's kind of like the end of the fun occasionally. So, I mean, shoot, I understand what you mean. That little extra air pressure never hurt anybody.
Well, I normally run 13 in the front and 12 in the rear, and I was actually thinking about, okay, so talking with Chris Thies, he told me that in Denmark, they typically run 18 to 20 pounds of air in the sand over there, and I can't remember exactly what their strategy was, but it had something to do with, because of the rocks, the more air that's in the tire, the less likelihood it has of pinching the tube. But
100%.
But you lose some of that comfort and feel that you would normally have with like a 13-pound tire. So I'm thinking about running a little bit higher and I'm going to play around. Dude, I'm so excited that I'm going this weekend to ride, because I'm going to play around with tire pressure. God, I sound like such a fucking vet rider right now. Ugh.
Right. Yeah, I feel like I should now ask what size main jet you're running or something, you know?
Yeah. Funny you say that, because I just texted one of the dudes at Pro Circuit and started talking to him about, hey, man, you know, my bike's doing this, and here's how I have it jetted, and what do you think I should do? Should I drop the needle 2 clips? And, yeah. It's,
sometimes you gotta pretend you're 16 and twist that thing on the right until she blows, and that's when you know you got a problem, right?
Yeah, until then, I just need to take my wrist governor off.
Yes, that's my biggest problem is my wrist governor. The older I get, it seems to grow, and I'm having trouble figuring out how to shave it down. It's one of those deals. I think it just happens with time, you know.
Hey, what class are you going to race at the GP?
So I'm thinking I might try the old A class. I know how aggro the old AA class is, and what I normally do is, like, especially without a practice lap, is you go in there and then you have like extreme arm pump, and then I seem to kill it and stuff. So I think I'm gonna. My fitness level also isn't very high. I'm thinking I'm gonna try the A class and see how that goes. But I might just end up doing the team side of it if I can talk my brother into coming for fun. But part of me wants to do the 2-hour race just to do it. You know, you feel pretty exhausted and pretty good after one, you know?
So the thing about the A class, all right, the last time that I did it, they had 7 guys in the A Open, and then in the Pro class, they had 16. So the A class,
oh, wow.
Yeah, the A class is actually much smaller, but yet they're running essentially the same. Okay, so first through 6th place in A Open would have, let me do some cross-checking here, ran the same exact lap times as like 11th through 14th in the Pro class. So it's actually, and the thing is, I don't know, man. I don't see the point in riding the A class. How old are you, Tyler? Are you 35 yet?
I am 33, but I looked at that open class, and there's like, 4 guys in there, you know. And the best part about a hare scramble is whether you fall or whatever, you'll find someone to race with normally, and that might be something that would be better off in the old AA class. See how that goes.
Right, and see, okay, so AVET 35. Okay, so the guy that placed in front of me in the overall was Michael Ashley. He's a 35-year-old dude, and he was running faster lap times than I was the entire race. And then
there's always one of those guys.
And then fucking Fast Danny Patram, he ran a 21-minute. Chris Schellenberger was running around the same exact lap times as me. So I mean, dude, the AVET 35 class is no screw around class either. So and the way that it looks, it kind of breaks down. It's like, it's almost as if all the other classes, so like even B Open, dude, it looks like the biggest class was the Pro class, honestly, judging by the number of entries. And now, I mean, I'm not looking at like, yeah, dude, it kind of just looks like that was the class. Now there are a lot of people that ride the team class and I think that they do I don't know if they do 2-man teams or 3-man teams. I think it kind of varies, but the team classes are definitely, dude, I'm scrolling through the entries here, and absolutely the pro class was the largest one.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool. That doesn't always work out like that.
No, it very rarely does. And my goal is, I've been talking to every single A rider that I'm like, that I think would like racing in the sand. And I'm like, dude, you should just go do it. It's not the end of the world. And it's not like Missouri woods riding where you're banging off of sticks and twigs the entire time and there's rocks everywhere. Because I have the same outlook as you. I'm like, screw the rocks, dude. I don't want anything to do with that. But there's no rocks down there at RFGP.
There is no more moto-friendly hare scramble. And that being said, there's no more fun hare scramble than the Riverfront GP based on the one time I went. And I've done I'm living in Springfield now, so I'm very clued into how rocky and tight all these woods around here are. I've done some forward motion. And they all had points of the course where I was like, this isn't really my style. But at no point on the Riverfront GP course was I like, if somebody wanted to take any part of that and tie it in together and I just do 1 mile laps, I'm cool with that too. Like, all of the course is super fun. That's the best part about it.
Are you going to go to bar to bar for the Pro-Am next weekend by chance? I'm sorry, not next weekend, but yes, I guess it is next weekend.
So I'm actually thinking there's in Keithsburg, Illinois. They did a national there in 74. Bob Hanna loved it. And based on my YouTube recon, I might do a little practice prep there. I've got a buddy little southeast of St. Louis, and I might hammer down there Saturday morning, and we might do that race on Sunday as a little prep because even one hare scramble makes the next one a little bit easier, so that might be my move.
Keithsburg is no fuck around. That is a man's race. It's about the same as Riverfront.
Exactly, and I grew up in Topeka. Oakland is my, I broke in multiple motorcycles there, as dumb as that sounds, with the washing machines rusted out laying around everywhere and such. But I love some sand. I've been wanting to do this Keithsburg race and the Riverfront GP, and I might just fill a couple of weekends with some sand and then change some chains and sprockets the following weekend,
That's a bold move, Tyler. I like the way you think.
Yeah, why not? I mean, hopefully the blisters from one Sunday heal before the next. And then the other cool thing is so they're doing that night race at the Riverfront GP on Saturday night.
Yeah.
It's 20 minutes. I've got mountain bike lights. I'm half tempted because it's about 3 hours south of me, and I could do it in the morning. But if I can swing it, it's one of those I'm not real sure, but it would be sweet if I did go down there and do a 20-minute night moto. Yeah. A little prep the day before. That'd be fun too. So I'm trying to make it as much of a Riverfront GP weekend that weekend as I can. But I don't know if I'm going to get to bar to bar. Are you headed up there?
Yeah, I'm going to go to bar for sure. Just do Sunday only for the races. So it's practice on Friday, and then they have their state race on Saturday, and then the Pro-Am on Sunday. And I'm good for 1 day of racing, and just ride. I'm going to ride 250 Pro, and probably plus 25. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't decided. But dude, Bruce pays the plus 25 class really good money at his bigger races. So it's kind of, I'm only good for so many pro races before I'm just like, man. And especially at bar to bar on a 252 stroke against the 450s there, it's such a disadvantage.
Yeah.
So
it's probably a better fight. It's about a fairer fight there than some other places because you can really rip on the two-stroke and hit them berms, or would a harder pack place be better because the horsepower isn't such an advantage?
Well, the main thing is on the two-stroke, yeah, you can float across the top of the sand and really rip the outsides and whatnot, but the start is so deep that getting out of the gate and out of the first corner there against the 450s is a major challenge. And then that's what kind of makes me, maybe a little reserved about it instead of just going out and, I don't know. And again, I may change my mind come race day and be like, fuck it, I'm going to ride all three.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of a whatever my mood is.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. No, and Bar to Bar, I love that track too. That's a super fun place, and the guy that runs it seems to be super enthusiastic and in it for the right reason. So it's always good to support that sort of stuff. And is that the Border Showdown too, or whatever that is?
No, they did the Kansas. Well, hold on, wait a second. Maybe they're, dude, I don't know. I should know this. I thought that they did the border race last weekend. I'm pretty sure because they.
Okay.
So originally
you're right.
They had 2 races scheduled, so they were going to do the the border battle was last weekend, and then they were going to do the Kansas State race the weekend after that, which would be this weekend. But after Bruce went to Ohio and spoke with the AMA people out there and said, hey, we need a Pro-Am in Kansas, and they just gave him one. He moved the state championship back a weekend, so that's on Saturday, and then the Pro-Am is on Sunday. Yeah, so it's a busy weekend for him at Bar to Bar.
Yeah.
Well, all right, buddy. Well, hey, yeah, it's amazing how November is actually proven to be like that's. I don't know. This is the most excited I've been. So I was really excited for the first state race at Kingsville, and then the Cahokia State race, and then now the RFGP. Those are like my 3 big races of the year.
It's definitely weird how you end up with more rainouts in March and April than you do in November now. I do find that to be a bit odd, but I kind of like it when it's a little cooler and, it's you're a little more in tune with your motorcycle in November than I am in March. So I'm kind of liking the change.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, partner, I'm going to let you get back and flexing your catalog on your dealer network.
That'll work.
Cool,
Thanks
bud.
for calling.
Hey, I'll see you. We'll see you at the GP, bro.
That'll work, man. Have fun this weekend.
Later, bud. Tyler Holm, he's the rep for. Oh shit! I can't. I'm not Parts Unlimited. The other one. Not Tucker Rocky. I almost said Western Power Sports. So Tyler is the rep for Tucker Rocky, and he's based out of Springfield. So the RFGP is a pretty close deal for him. If you're interested in going to the RFGP, Riverfront GP, you can go to rfgp.com, and they have all the information. You can actually pre-enter online. And what's funny is I'm doing this whole like hype piece for a Riverfront just on my own whim because I think this is such a fun race, and I think I want to get moto dudes more into woods racing. And it's funny because I'm not even a hardcore woods racer, but if there's any one thing that I can do, it's to cross paths of moto and woods and put them together. And, the more entries there are at either event, the better it is for both sports and motorcycle off-road racing as a whole. So I want to get as many people, and whether you're pro or just like a local B rider, vet 30, vet 35, they have classes for everybody. And like Tyler was saying, you can do anything that you want. You can either go out and send it and race a little hard out, or you can just go ride one of the coolest courses really that you can within the Kansas City area within a couple hours. It's in Van Buren, Arkansas, which is about 4.5 hours south of Kansas City. Straight down 71, 49, whatever you want to call it. And so I think that if I remember correctly, they throw the green flag right at noon on Sunday morning. And like I said, there's no practice lap. You just go out and race, which I think is actually a really cool added element, because the first lap you're out there and just kind of getting a vibe for whatever the track may hold, and then second lap you start to drop your lap times and really get a feel, and then by third, fourth, fifth lap, you're out there not at 100%, and that's something you got to understand as a moto dude. Like, you can't just go out and send it at 100% because you wear yourself out. It is an endurance race, so you have to figure out how do you find a happy medium at about 85% capacity, and changing your riding style, like Tyler and I just spoke about. You have to change your riding style to where you're not running second, third gear all the time, but actually short shift the bike and keep the RPMs lower. And not only does that help whenever you're riding in the sand, because it compacts the bike, squats it down, and stretches it out, and the suspension becomes more usable, but it also just helps your overall physical exertion drop down. And so then, you're not getting that torquey grunt out of all the corners, at every opportunity for you to pin it in second gear. I mean, I get it. It's fun, but after 2 hours of that, you're shot. And it's not so fun at the end of the moto. So yeah, if you're interested in it, go to rfgp.com. They've got all the information. I'm going to go back to the website here. So this year is actually they've been doing this for a long time. It's 23 years. This is 23rd annual RFGP. And they do have practice weekends. So both Saturday and Sunday this weekend, the 11th and 12th, it'll be open. Okay, so like Tyler was saying, Saturday night. Okay, so Saturday ATV and bike 7-mile laps. Saturday UTV 3.5-mile laps, and then Saturday night race is 3.5-mile laps. And this is Thanksgiving Day weekend, by the way. I just want to get that out there. And then Sunday, they have kids in short course 2.5-mile laps, and then the full loop is about 11 miles long. And for the record, it does have a $1,000 pro purse, which, I mean, for a woods race, that's damn good money. And I don't know if they go above that, if they get X amount of entries, because if I remember right, the year that I went, they paid pretty far back. Now, I mean, whoever wins it is not, and they're not going to get paid like $450 like you do at a motocross race. It's more for your own personal accolade of, I did this is what I can do, I just won the RFGP. And it's pretty deep tradition and rich history. I mean, 23 years of it. And what's cool is you can go back and look at all the RFGP champions. They have all the race results from prior years back, and it's a damn good race. So again, check it out, rfgp.com. Hopefully we can get a couple people from the moto scene down there and get some guys that have never done a woods race to go do it. And again, like Tyler said, it's not like a woods race. You're not banging off of trees and running into bark and roots and rocks and all that shit. It's just nice flowing sand. And I mean, they do run a tractor with a loader on the front of it around the entire course. So check it out, rfgp.com.